What's a telltale sign two people are having a secret sexual relationship with each other? Op is going through some shit lamau. If Op is asking, it's already too late. Move on. From personal experience, was hooking up with a coworker and she'd bring her dog into the office. Her dog started sitting under my desk every day and we were exposed. That's hilarious. On the flip side, in Chicago, when my GF had a super millennial cool person job, my dog shit on the boss' shoes under his desk. Lol edit, dog tax. Maxwell, the most opinionated boy you'll ever have the pleasure of knowing. Oh, look at him. They accidentally sent a company-wide email sharing a picture from their vacation together in Sandals, Jamaica. Tan almost everywhere. Jan almost everywhere. Hee hee. Officially, I did not see her. But, I did see Jan there. In our room. At night. And in the morning. That's all I'm going to say. Sex. Sex. We had sex. I had sex with her. I had sex with January. The two of them consistently being the last ones left at the group hangout, especially if one of them is hosting. A bunch of us used to hang out on a TeamSpeak server to play games. One day we were chatting when the server admin just blurted out, "So guy and girl, you two have the same IP address today. You ducking?" That would have been embarrassing and funny at the same time. Staring. I was secretly seeing a guy in school. As far as everyone else was concerned, we couldn't stand each other. This girl I barely knew pulled me aside and whispered, "I don't know what's going on between you two, but you need to stop staring or everyone else is going to know." Later on he wanted to know what the girl said to me. I wasn't about to admit she noticed my staring, so I said, "She thinks there's something going on with us because you keep staring at me." Awkward avoidance of each other. Or disappearing at the same time. Taking off-site lunch at the same time. Funny thing about that. I have a genuine friendship with a, now former, coworker. We used to go to lunch together quite a bit before COVID. Yeah, people made jokes and suggestions but nothing was going on. But one day my wife and I went to lunch at the same Chinese restaurant that our friend and I frequented and the server was just rude as hell to my wife. Took me a while to figure out that she thought I was married to my coworker and cheating on her with my wife. I said to my wife, "I don't get it, we don't play footsies under the table, we talk about work." To which my wife said, "You mean like an old married couple?" Oh. So the next week we all went there for lunch together. The look on the server's face when I said, "This is my friend, this is my wife," was priceless. Edit, thanks for the award, kind stranger. So glad this had a funny ending, bravo on figuring it out, what an ironic switch of circumstances. If you know them before it, they'll stop flirting as much as they had been prior to it. They make sure they don't leave a place together but linger around long enough to know when the other is leaving. They look at each other when something funny or bad happens. The glances. The gym. Sometimes you can tell by the way they casually, appropriately, touch each other in public. Certain things are awkward until you cross that line. At a place I worked at about 25 years ago, female coworker dropped her screwdriver and our boss picked it up and stuck it in her pocket. Later that day my buddy says she did not flinch or look away from what she was doing when his hand went to her pocket. His hand has been in that pocket before. His screwdriver has been in that pocket before. These two I used to work with, they got found out because a skunk sprayed outside the guy's house real bad. The next day they came in to work separately and ignored each other as usual, but they both smelled like skunk. Then everyone knew, but they didn't know we knew. I hope the skunk wasn't a part of their sexual playground. Don't kink shame the skunk. You have to go duck them both individually, and see if either of them have the same tricks. Check if they taste like the other. Cry out the missing person's name as you come, see how they react. What's a telltale sign two people are having a secret sexual relationship with each other? The gut feeling you had before posting here. Physical closeness. Princess Margaret was, accurately, accused of having an affair after wiping some fluff dust off of a married man's suit jacket. As someone who once had a wonderful female work friend who would always try to get the cat hair off my shirt when I came in, I suspect I was missing cues there. Edit. At this point, with this many positive and negative responses, I should probably clarify that I just asked my fiancée and confirmed, yes, she was indeed trying to send me a signal when she was pulling the cat hair off me, but I didn't actually get the message until like a year later. Oh shit. Shit. Random memory of a gorgeous girl on the dance team in high school on more than one occasion getting super close to get an eyelash off my cheek. Men don't miss hints, they just pop up and stab us in the brain a decade later. They act weird all of a sudden when things that should be considered normal happen. Like friends acting playful, but they suddenly stop, because they realize it might be taken the wrong way, when in reality it wouldn't. They are only fearing such as they know things are indeed the wrong way. A friend at work started secretly dating a coworker, and it was completely obvious because of the shift from the routine way they had always acted to one of almost strained professionalism when they interacted around others. Plus you'd catch things like the sidelong glances or weird excuses about why neither one could join everyone after work when they probably had plans together. When he finally told me, I replied, yeah, no shit. And laid out all the telltale clues they had been showing. He was genuinely surprised, as he thought that they had been successfully keeping it on the down low. They start using each other's speech mannerisms. Like one of them always replies to something you say to them with, "Is that right?" And then you hear your wife saying it all the time after you get back from a week-long work trip. Edit. For everyone saying they do this all the time, yes, it is common and I also do it. It's just the way I keyed into the affair. Both can be true. Peace. I'm sorry, Alaskaroy. It sounds like your wife maybe had another Alaskan toy? They're married now, so he gets to deal with her, not me. Life, man, what a trip. Smile. I work in hour and someone dropped an anonymous tip once that a member of senior management was sleeping with a female subordinate. So it gave me access to their emails, and I swear to God, the moment I read "I can still smell you on my fingers," I immediately wanted to quit hour. On the work email? Good God. Yeah. It was bad. I'm so hard thinking about tonight. I can't wait to tear off your clothes and mess up these sheets. Also, please forward the Broderick report to me no later than 2:30. I can still smell you on my fingers. Kind regards. As per my last email, you have to get the water-based lube. To whom it may concern, is your bits itchy? When your so brings someone up way too much in the beginning, then mysteriously stops talking about them at all, even when the situation potentially calls for it. Wife, we got a new guy at work. I have to start training him tomorrow. Next day I started training the new guy today. His name is Kevin. Kevin's actually pretty funny. You'd like Kevin. Kevin has the same sense of humor as us. Next week they sent me and Kevin to the other branch today. They gave us the company card for lunch, so we went to a nice place. Kevin took forever deciding what to get. Kevin said he didn't recognize most of the items, so I had to order for Kevin. Next month they're sending me to Miami this weekend to meet with a prospective client. Husband, oh that's nice. Is Kevin going too? Wife, who? I've caught people because they didn't follow one another on social media to try to avoid suspicion, but they both posted that they were at the same place and similar photos, and despite not posting about one another, it was obvious. They didn't know what the other was posting because they didn't follow one another LMFAO, which ultimately lead to the downfall of their discretion. But they both posted that they were at the same place and similar photos, and despite not posting about one another, it was obvious. This happened to a work friend of mine. He told me he was going to a baseball game that weekend. In a weird twist, our company had hired an old female acquaintance of mine who periodically updated her Snapchat. I have no idea if my friend knew me and her were friendly enough to be on social media together. This was also preceded by some people in the building suggesting they had started dating. Well, lo and behold, that weekend she posts a bunch of snaps of the game, no photos of who she was with, but a few of her posing for pictures with someone else recording. The ruse barely lasted another 2 weeks.